He wasn't just there to talk about Afghanistan today. No, now he's going to go ahead and try to override states' rights. It's a big play. Let's see if it fucking works out for him. Biden threatens legal action against governors who ban forcing school children to wear masks. This could get very, very, very interesting, okay? Because this is just a big federal government overreach. States are allowed to do what states want to do. It was already a big fucking ask and a big play to start funding local state boards that were going against the wishes of the different governors. And there's more that have signed on, and then there's more that have signed on to the other side right now. So on the side of saying that, no, you don't have to wear a mask. Children don't have to wear masks in schools, which is a preposterous fucking proposition. But right now you have, obviously, Florida, obviously, Texas. Arizona just signed on, but then on the forcing people to wear masks, you know the regular culprits, but New Mexico has signed on to that insanity. Because it's not enough that they had their entire economy shattered when old fucking Sleepy Joe decided to kill off the natural resource industry. Now they're just going to start punishing the children there. But again, this should just be another warning that putting your children in public schools is not in their best interest. There are options. That ultimately is another topic for another day. Let's get into this. Governors who ban school mask mandates, so weird, could face legal action from the federal government. President Biden warned on August 18th. How is he going to get around that? Okay, you can just say these weird fucking things, even though when you're the president, you probably shouldn't be saying such things that are just so obviously illegal. There are amendments that protect states' rights, but okay, I guess that only matters when it comes to an election. Oh, the states have the right to conduct their elections however they want to. Oh, but then the federal government has a right to enforce their paranoia on everybody else. Okay, cool. Biden stated that he was directing Education Secretary Miguel Cardona to take additional steps to protect our children. Oh, you should just cut out the middleman and then just fucking snatch them up and just put them right on the government tit and then just never let them go. That's ultimately what you want. But you don't have the fucking balls to do it. This includes using his oversight authority and legal action, if appropriate, against governors trying to block and intimidate local school officials and educators, Biden said in the remarks of the White House. We're not going to sit by as governors try to block and intimidate educators protecting our children. It's not their point. It's not their position to be fucking mandating masks to keeping the kids safe. It's supposedly, I know, right? This might be a big brain take, but teachers are there to teach. I know, right? They're not there to keep people safe from something that doesn't really affect them. Oh, they can pop for it. That's fine. They can use one of their stupid fucking tests that can't differentiate between an asshole or an elbow. But what are the symptoms that these kids face? Oh, but then they can take... It's like, enough about your hypotheticals. Enough about your hypotheticals. As an example, he said that the federal government may use money from the American Rescue Plan to pay an educator who has their salary cut by a governor. Who of those governors have talked about reducing an educator's salary if they enforce the mask mandate? All it is taking away funding from the school boards. Not one individual teacher is going to face the wrath of that because there's unions on that. So again, Joe is either lost on this one or he's patently lying to you. It doesn't really matter at this point because he accepted the job with a deteriorating mental capacity. So I don't care if he's ignorant or malicious in this one. He's ultimately responsible. No more fucking breaks for Joe. I'm going to say a lot more about children. Oh, of course you are. In schools next week as we head to the school year. But remember this. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, says masks are critical. Cool. What are we going back to the fucking summer of 2020? That's cool. Let's put politics aside. No, it's only your politics. You are the only ones. They're saying, those governors, DeSantis, Abbott, stupid Ducey, they're saying that if you want to wear a mask in school, that's fine. Okay, we're just not going to tell everybody that they have to wear a mask. You, on the other hand, are using your political leverage to tell everybody to fucking wear masks. Well, are they going to help me out or anything? Doesn't matter. Just do it because I said so. I'm in charge. That's putting down your political foot. That's not putting politics aside. So enough with your fucking politician rhetoric, you fucking old fossil. But again, He's also trying to follow the science trademark. Biden administration plans to extend the mask mandate on trains, planes, and automobiles for 4 months until January 18th, where he will obviously extend it further. All of our worst fears are coming true. The Biden administration will reportedly extend mask requirements for air, train, and bus travel until at least January 18th. The current Transportation Secretary administration order expires 4 months earlier on September 13th. Major U.S. airlines are informed that the change by TSA and Center for Disease Control is a call on Tuesday, 3 sources told Reuters. Current mandate went into effect last January. Yep, we know so much more about the efficacy of vaccines, but yep, all the different studies that are out there when it comes to masks and all that good stuff. Yeah, we don't look at that kind of stuff, but yeah, make sure that you get that booster jab in your arm every fucking 8 months. Current mandate went into effect last January, shortly after President Biden took office, and required masks on nearly all forms of public transportation. But that's alright. The virus also knows when you're eating or drinking or something, so you can pull down your mask and everybody will be fine. Don't worry about it. It's polite. In addition to planes, trains, and buses, so that includes subways, taxis, ride shares, and transportation terminals. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Because masks, boy, talking about masks sure seems like it was a long time ago, but it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. All we know about masks is they're really not that terribly effective at what the science is trying to tell us that they're good at. It's one of those things where politicians can be like, oh, wear a mask. It looks like I'm doing something, therefore I'm taking responsibility, even though we know that if they were so goddamn effective, we'd be already through this already, because we had massive mask mandates. And why are we still dealing with this stuff? And why are their provisions only getting worse? Talked about, what was that, the Washington State University yesterday or the day before that? I don't know. All this shit is just running together, and it's all just getting more and more tyrannical about no admission without getting the jab. Well, at least a university in Connecticut, Quinnipiac to be more specific, is going to allow you to have a choice. It's just not going to be a hell of a good choice. They are going to fine and block internet access to unvaccinated students. How is that supposed to be helping anybody? How is that supposed to be putting politics aside, man? We just need to defeat the virus. When you're locking paying students out of essential means in order to complete their study. How is that a choice at that point? Students at Connecticut's Quinnipiac will be fined up to $2,275 and lose internet access if they fail to comply with the university's COVID-19 vaccination policies. The my private university, it could do whatever it wants. Liberal Arts College in New Haven County announced the new penalty on August 16th in an email sent to some 600 students who haven't yet provided proof of a vaccination or requested an exemption. Comply or lose even more money on your worthless fucking degree. Quinnipiac were required to submit their vaccination records by August 1st. Those not in compliance by September 14th will face weekly fines of up to $100. They increase $25 after every 2 weeks and a maximum of $200 per week. They also won't be able to use the school campus Wi-Fi. Unfucking believable. But it's not even the worst, okay? We talked about, was that yesterday too? Yes, it was. Australia and New Zealand, okay? So, New Zealand going into a full-blown lockdown over one fucking case. How many people are dying? One fucking case. I think Australia probably has them beat because kids were standing outside just having a laugh, and the cops showed up, and we're just going to let this one play in the background. Yep, cops show up. They're looking to arrest the children, but because they're kids and they're outside, they don't want to wear a mask because obviously. And then all of a sudden things start going incredibly sideways because they think that they're doing a really good job here. Oh yeah, they've handcuffed one, put her on the sidewalk because she's not following the rules, which are very important to this situation, obviously, right? They have so many cops there. Are they socially distanced? It doesn't matter. They're trying to enforce the law on this one because, it's such a major problem. We have literally hundreds of cases in Australia right now, and you're all supposed to be locked down. You're all just supposed to sit there and fucking listen. We're going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit because, boy, does it get fun as soon as the kids try to start to leave and, fucking Dudley Do right there decides you're going to start tackling kids. Put them on the ground. all because they aren't wearing masks. So instead of, just doing the rational thing of, I don't know, maybe turning a blind eye to the situation, what do you start to do? Wrestle with all these kids. You start to, I don't know, exchange sweat. If you're so concerned about not wearing a mask or something, don't you think that, something a little bit more bodily, well, not really right there, but something you can transmit, person to person a lot easier than, I don't know, maybe just breathing into the open air. So you start to wrestle with people, and then, by the end of it, you tear gas people in order to get them to comply. That's happening in Australia. Okay, you get fined $1,000, $3,500, $5,000 fucking dollars if you go outside and you take your dog for a walk. It's all coming stateside. They're just doing it a little bit at a time. Okay. Oh, no internet for you because the virus gets transmitted through fiber optic cables. Wi-Fi signals. Wasn't that one of the verboten talking points at the outset of this? Something about 5G? Anyway, not that I agree with it. It's just, hate to have to destroy my fucking joke because YouTube sucks. But I don't know where these kids ended up. These ones specifically. But I know where about 25,000 kids ended up. Inside a stadium. The police. Okay? Stop me if you've heard this one before. Police rounded up 24,000 people, brought them to a stadium to be medically experimented on. Haven't we already been through this in the past 100 years? A few different times, but I guess, like everything else in 2020, this decade, it needs a shitty fucking reboot. And Minister of Health tells parents that they're not allowed to show up because they're just going to snatch up 24,000 of your children and they will be herded into the stadium like cattle to get the COVID jab. Premier of South Wales has acknowledged that without dramatically lower case numbers, even opening up at 80% vaccination rates will be difficult. Herd immunity is no longer a thing. It's all about 100% compliance. Has hopes of a later lockdown beyond August fade, and Brad Hazard, very appropriate. The Minister of Health and Medical Research has now told parents in a press conference that 24,000 children will be herded like cattle into a stadium to get the jab, and parents will not be allowed to be present. I don't know what to say, really. That's horrific. When they get inside, they can look forward to a Big Brother-style address from New South Wales Premier Gladys, it's always a woman, who will fill their heads with propaganda and lies and thank them for participating in the largest experiment ever conducted, in Australia, perhaps. When they can move to the best part of what they can watch on enviously, as some of their friends suffer the immediate adverse reaction. Sure, I'm sure that they have a bunch of other spicy videos, which I'm not allowed to cover because YouTube still sucks. But holy shit. And do I fear this stuff coming stateside? Of course I do. Why would I share it with you? I do have a soft spot for Australia and New Zealand, not for the politicians. Obviously, they can all fucking fry in hell for as little as I care about them. Anybody who's pushing this type of stuff, they need to be fired into a cannon towards the sun. But this shit is on the horizon. It's on the horizon. You just need to be knowing what's coming and have the good enough sense to fight back and push back however you deem appropriate. I'm not going to tell you how far I'll go I don't need to be making some threats out there that'll eventually hold me accountable, but I have my non-negotiables. Nobody's moving me off those positions. Take that statement however you may. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.